Hey gang, in 5th grade, you're asked to multiply with a 2-digit factor, okay? Where you're something like this, 37 times 42, where your bottom number will be a 2-digit factor, all right? In 4th grade, you learned how to multiply using an area model, or your teachers might have called it a box, okay? And what you did was you took your numbers and you separated them by place value. So if you had 37, you separated into 30 and 7. And then 42 was 40 and 2. And then what you did was you multiplied your 30 in both these boxes going down, the 7 in these two, the 40 in these two going across, and the 2 in those. Does that sound familiar? It should. All right, so it looks something like this. You did 30 times 40. You did 30 times 2. You did 7 times 40, and then you did 7 times 2. And then you had to do all that multiplication. So you did 3 times 4, you got 12, and now you had to add your 2 zeros on there, and you got 1,200. You did 7 times 4, and you got 28. You added 1 zero on there, and you got 280. You did 2 times 3, you got 6, put on your 1 zero, and you got 60. And then you did 7 times 2, and you got 14. There was no zero to add, so that was 14. And then when you were done, you had to go through and you had to add all those numbers together. So you had to make sure, the mistake that kids usually make is they don't line up their numbers carefully. They're not neat enough. And they end up making a mistake of adding the wrong numbers in the wrong places. So you had to be careful. And you had to make sure you lined up your ones place, your tens place, your hundreds place, your thousands place. Once you lined those up, then you had to do your addition. Okay? In my ones place, I had zeros and a 4, so that's going to be the 4. In my tens place, 0, 8, 6, and 1. 8 and 6 is 14, plus 1 is 15. I can't put 15 in that place. I have to leave the 5 and regroup the 1. That's basic rules of addition. So the 1 will go up here. 2 and 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And then the 1 will come down, and I get an answer of 1,554. If you're successful with that, you can do that this year. It requires a lot of space and a lot of work. What we're going to try to do is move you into what you're going to have to do in 6th grade, 7th grade, and beyond, what your parents learned, okay? Which is multiplying it this way with what we call the standard algorithm. We're still going to do the multiplication that you see here. We're going to do 30 times 40. We're going to do 7 times 40, 2 times 30, and 2 times 7. But we're going to do the addition part as we multiply. I'm going to show you how it works. 2 times 7. All right, I'm sorry. We're going to start multiplying with the number in the ones place. And you're always going to go to the ones place first. So this is always the place where you start. So I'm going to multiply the 30 and the 7 times the 2 first. So 2 times 7 is 14. We did 2 times 7 here, and we got 14. And again, you can't put 14 in the ones place. So we're going to leave the 4, and we're going to regroup the 1 to the tens place up here. Okay? Now, we're going to do the second multiplication, which is going to be the 2 times this 3, or 2 times 30, which we did here. 2 times 3 is 6, plus the 1. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do the addition part together. We had 60 and 14. We just did the 14, and now we've got 60. 6 plus 1 is 7. We're going to get a 7 here. It's 74. 60 plus 14 was 74. So we're adding it as we're going. So now I'm done with the times 2. I did it. I did 2 times 7. I did 2 times 3. Now, when you add in that 1, 2 times 3 was 6 plus the 1. Cross it out so we don't use it again. Now we're going to multiply times the 4. But that 4 is not really 4, is it? It's really 40. And if I count by 40s, 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, I have a 0 in the ones place. So before we multiply by this second number, and this is the thing that you have to remember, this is the trick, okay, the part that kids mess up on, you have to put a 0 in the ones place first. Because if you count by 40s, you're always going to have a 0 in the ones place. We got to put a 0 here first. Now we're going to multiply like it's 4 times 37. We're going to go back to the ones. 4 times 7. What's 4 times 7? 28, right? 28. I can't put 28 there, so what will I leave? I'm going to leave the 8, and the 2 is going to go over the 3. That's why we crossed that 1 out, so it's out of the way. The 2 is going to go up here. Now we're going to multiply 4 times 3, 12, plus 2, 13, 14. and we're going to put the 14 down here. Okay? So now we're going to go ahead. I've got 74 when I did multiplied times 2. I have 1,480 when I multiplied times the 40. The last step, I just have to add these two numbers together. Okay? 4 and 0 is 4. Can we see that? I'm trying hard. I have a hard time recording on my phone. 8 and 7 is 15. Carry the 1. 1 and 4 is 5. And the 1 comes down and I get 1,544. And that's exactly what I had over there. Okay? We're going to do a couple here. All right, so you get used to seeing what the steps are. But it's going to come out to the same thing, and it's much, much, much faster. Okay? So if we can work some of this out, we're going to be in good shape. All right, so let's take a look at another one. And I'm not going to do the area model anymore. I'm just going to do this. All right. So let's take a look. Give me a 2-digit number. I'm only kidding. You can't tell. All right. Let's do 39 times 79. How about that? Okay, throw in some 9s in there. All right, 39 times 79. All right. We're going to start in the ones place like we did before. So we're going to do 9 times 9 and then 9 times 3. We're going to put a 0 and then we're going to do 7 times 9 and 7 times 3. Okay, simple. Here we go. 9 times 9. What's 9 times 9? 81. Can I put 81? I can't. What stays? The 1 stays. The 8 goes because it's 8 tens. The 1 is going to stay. The 8 goes above the 3. Okay? Now I'm going to multiply the 9 times the 3. We're never multiplying that number we carried over there. That adds in at the end. Okay? 9 times 3. What's 9 times 3? 27. Now, that's why God gave you fingers. Count 8 more from 27. What do you get? 35. I can put the 35 because I have nothing left to multiply here. So I'm going to put the 35 down. So I get 351. I'm done multiplying by 9 now. Forgot to cross out my 8. See, I say it, but I forgot to do it myself. Cross that 8 out so we don't use it again. Now we're going to multiply times the 7. Okay? But it's really 70. And if we're counting by 70s, right? 70, 140, 210, 280. We're going to have a 0 at the end. We're going to put that 0 here. Got to put that 0 first. 7 times 9 is 63. Can't put it. We can only put the 3. Where's that 6 go? Do you remember? It goes above the 3. Now we're going to do 7 times 3, 21 plus 6 more. 21 plus 6, 27. And now we're going to add, okay? That's 1, 5 and 3 is 8, 3 and 7 is 10, carry the 1, and we get 3,081, okay? Getting there? Maybe, kind of? All right. Now I'm going to put one up where you have a 3-digit factor on the top. Well, we're only doing 2 digits. 5th grade, only 2 digits on the bottom, but we can go up to 3. Actually, we can go up to 4 digits on the top. Okay? So let's take a look at a 3-digit one. Let's see. 236 times 68. 236 times 68. Let's try that and see what happens there. Now, we're going to multiply everything up here times 8 first. 8 times 6, 8 times 3, 8 times 2. All right, we're going to do this times this, this times this, this times this. Then we're going to put a 0 and we're going to multiply times the 6. 6 times 6, 6 times 3, 6 times 2. Okay, and once we get that habit down, we're going to be good. So here we go. 8 times 6. What's 8 times 6? 48. I'm going to leave the 8. Where's the 4 go? Above what number? Where are we going to next? We're going to the 3. So the 4 is going to go here. 8 times 3, 24, plus, cross it out, plus 4 more. 24 plus 4, 28. We're going to leave the 8. Where's that 2 going to go? Above the 2. Good. And now 8 times 2. What's 8 times 2? 16 plus 2 more. Cross it out. 16 plus 2 is 18. So we get 1,888. Now we're going to multiply times this 6. But it's really 60. 60, 120, 180. So we're going to put a 0 here first. And now we're going to multiply times that 6, going back to the ones place, right? 6 times 6, 36. We're going to leave the 6 and the 3 goes up here above the 3. 6 times 3, 18 plus 3, 19, 20, 21. We're going to leave the 1, carry the 2. 6 times 2, 14 plus 2, 16. And now we can go ahead and we can add those two numbers together. 8 and 0 is 8. 8 and 6 is 14. Carry the 1 back. 1 and 8 is 9. 9 and 1 is 10. I'm going to put the 1 here. 1, 2. 2 and 6 is 8. And the 1 there, we get 18,048. Okay? We're going to keep multiplying this number times those 3, and then this number times those 3. That's what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to give you one. What I want you to do is I want you to pause the video. You try to work it out, and then I'll go over it, okay? Let's do 46 times 73. Okay, 46 times 73. Pause the video and see if you can't work that out on paper. See if you can do it the way I showed you. Don't do the box. See if you can do it this way. All right, did you give it a shot? Let's see what you should have gotten, okay? We're going to multiply the times the 3 first. So we're going to do 3 times 6 and then 3 times 4. 3 times 6 was what? What'd you have? It's 18. We're going to put the 8 here and regroup the 1 over there, okay? Now we're going to do 3 times 4. And 3 times 4 is 12 plus that 1. Make sure you cross out. It's 13. We're going to come back over here, all right? And we're going to put a 0 first. We're going to multiply now times the 7. It's really 70. That's why we put the 0. We're going to do 7 times 6. What's 7 times 6? It's 42. We're going to leave the 2, carry the 4. 7 times 4, 28 plus 4, 29, 30, 31, 32. We can go ahead and put it because we have nothing else to multiply. We get 3,220. Last step, we're going to go ahead and add. We get 8, 3 and 2 is 5, 1 and 2 is 3, and we're going to put that 3 there. We get 3,358. Did you get it? All right, look. Write some of your own problems down. Most of you are walking around with a phone in your pocket or in your hand most of the time. Write a couple problems down. You have a calculator probably on your phone. After you do the math, okay, then try it on your calculator and see what you get. Ask your parents to help you because this is the way your parents learned it, okay? You don't have to sit there and do 20 problems. Do a couple. Do 2 or 3 a day. And if you can come back to school ready to do these, man, you're going to be way ahead for the school year, okay? I hope you're enjoying your summer. Give it a shot. See what you get. All right.